All right, welcome in. We are on our Las Vegas Strip here. It's Wednesday around 11:20 in the morning. I'm gonna check out the crowds, check out the vibes. Be on here for about an hour and 15 minutes today. Not a super long live stream today. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. Can't spend all my time with you great people. So, welcome in. I see we got a couple viewers in here. Jorge, what's going on, buddy? What's going on? LA Unknown, welcome in.
Hi guys, how you doing?
I think I'm gonna go get my Hello Kitty coffee this morning. I haven't had one in about a week. So I've been having a lot of sweet sin coffee. 'Cause I've been up center strip mostly. I think we're gonna go check out the baseball stadium, then turn around, head north again, check out a little bit of the Hard Rock going on. So a little word to the wise: don't these tour people that are out here, stay away from these people. Some of them are unsavory characters. Going to try to rip you off. This is probably the biggest scam on the entire strip. Tattoo, welcome in. How you doing today? So I think they put it in the escalator over at the stadium. So let's go check that out and see if we can see that over there. And then, like I said, we'll probably just head back north up on the strip. Jeffrey, what's going on? It is beautiful. It's about 70, maybe a little bit high, a little bit hotter right now. Alan, welcome back in, buddy. The TikTok live stream this morning wasn't too bad. I thought we had a good pusher, but it was only somebody. It just, that door just stopped for like a brief second, like somebody kicked it. It wasn't like a real push. Kind of disappointing to you guys. So the conservatory is looking like they're getting ready to start decorating. It had March 13th, Friday, March 13th, 3 o'clock is when it's going to open. So probably more likely going to open around 4 or 5. Last time, that's like the first time I've seen them give a time too. Normally it's just the date, you know. I think for the Christmas or was the Lunar New Year display, we were there, it was 5 o'clock and they were like, oh, it's going to be another hour or two. You know, when you're building something that big, a lot of times it's hard to just kind of keep the schedule that detailed. So, and I just learned today that Zooks, I was going to catch a Zooks earlier and I put in my app and it said that they don't start running until 11 o'clock. So there's the little toaster. They're fun. That's a fun ride, actually. Maybe we'll catch one and take it up to Fashion Show or something like that. See the end of live stream. But I need to get me some Hello Kitty coffee. Welcome in, welcome in. Smash that like button if you like live streams, walking live streams in Las Vegas. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I know, for some, remember, do you guys remember the cartoon? What was that? The little toaster that could, right? That was a book. And then they had like a little cartoon about it. For some reason, that just, those cars, they just remind me of that. Alan, what do you need, buddy? Mark, what's going on? Can I walk over to the Sphere and get your tickets to Metallica? Shoot me a message, man. Why do you have to get them? Do you have to get them there? You can't get them online? Oh yeah, we should do that when we pull up next to somebody. I got his cash today. Hello. How you doing? I'll do the hot cafe mocha.
One hot cafe mocha, and then you do have a local discount, yeah?
Yeah, do you need my license or?
And it's Jimmy?
Yes.
Out of 20. Alright, and then $12.68 is your change back. Here's that receipt, and I'll meet you at that following window.
All right,
okay?
thank you.
Thank you.
I've seen one accident online, but I don't know what happened. And then the other night I saw that somebody rear-ended one of them. The pre-sales keep selling out. Can you buy them? We can buy them at the Sphere? Yeah, let me know, Alan. I wouldn't mind. I'd do that for you. I'm 50, Jeff, man. Actually, we were on TikTok a little bit ago, and somebody called me an old man. Like, that was an insult. I'm like, I'm 50 years old. Like, okay. Like, you should probably work on your trolling if that's going to be, like, your insult. So I love the cafe mochas here at Hello Kitty. It's really good coffee. I actually met Alan here for a coffee. I think Alan enjoyed the coffee here. I know Alan didn't like Milk Bar. I'm not a big fan of Milk Bar, but I was at one point at Cosmo. I mean, their desserts are really good at the Milk Bar, but their coffee has really gone downhill. Josh, good morning, buddy. Caught us right here at one of my favorites, Hello Kitty. Now, I did find some really good local spots that I'm going to do some videos on. I just didn't have anything with me yesterday to do the videos. What time we got? 11:30. Nice. Let me turn that up a little bit. All right, that should be better. Yeah, so with the mics, I use that Prism Live, and it has an audio mixer now. But every time I plug my mic in, it's always really low, and I gotta then adjust the volume a little bit. So yeah, it was down a little bit lower. And last night this is funny that, all right, so I was like, I got like some kind of like goofy thing on Temu. It's still a little low. Let me see. Maybe it's the placement. Let me set you guys down for a second. All right, how's that? Is that better for the mic? Jeffrey, I think the same thing, man. The robo-taxis out here in Vegas definitely drive better than the people out here. The people out here are insane drivers. I think it's because we have so many transplants and we just get bad driving from all over the country. Um,
Coffee mocha.
great, thank you. Have a great day. All right, so I guess the mic's, if it's a little low, check your volume too, because I got it up as high as I can really get it before it starts showing red. So let's take a walk over to the Las Vegas Athletics baseball stadium construction site. A little Hello Kitty cheers. Somebody said somebody else is jumping on the Hello Kitty bandwagon, which is great because I think they need as much publicity. I mean, everybody knows Hello Kitty, but I love this. I actually really do like their coffee. I mean, it's not like I got a sponsorship or anything on there, and but I would definitely not turn down a Hello Kitty partnership. I would definitely be all in on that. But I buy it because I like it. I get my locals discount, and it's just good coffee. We're outside New York, New York. I'm gonna head on over and check out the A's Stadium. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, smash that thumbs up or whatever it is. I just shot a little video in between live streams too, so I'll get that out as soon as possible. I'm working on like so many different videos. It's like, it's a lot of work. YouTube's a lot of work. It's really, I was actually thinking about doing like a video on the Las Vegas numbers, but I'm kind of over that stuff, right? I mean, the whole Vegas is dead, and you know, nobody wants to really listen. Everybody's just looking at the clickbait. Vegas is dying, Vegas is dead. And I have not seen an actual opening date for that yet. I gotta check that out again, Murakami. You know, the sky's falling again because I think it was down 2% for January over last year, but I think last year was an actual increase over 2024. So it probably puts us around about the normal number. You know, negativity sells. I just can't jump on that bandwagon, you know, because Vegas isn't dying. Vegas is working exactly the way it's supposed to work right now. It's working exactly how these corporations have it designed to work. It's no longer a volume-based business model like it was before. It's more of a per sale model, right? If you want to put it that way. Extract as much money per visit, per person as you can, not get as many people in the city as you can. And that's what happens when you have businesses, corporations that are operating on short-term goals, right? Quarterly earnings, things like that. It's all about the now. What's happening right now? We don't want long-term growth. We don't need long-term growth. You know, that business model is gone, right? Grumpy. So what they're doing now is, you know, I mean, room rates went up like $13, right? From 2024, 2025. I think they went up around $13. I think I read, you know, the resort fees, like the parking fees, all these things that are here to kind of, you know, extract a couple more dollars out of us. Yeah, they are opening so many more things out here, you know, baseball stadiums and, you know, Hard Rock, all that stuff, because it doesn't fit, right? Because the Vegas is dead narrative is just like a narrative that sells views, and you know, the news, you know, the news exploits that too, right? Nobody really wants to put down like what's really happening, that the whole entire world has seen a decline in tourism for the most part. Now, European countries have seen some growth because Europeans are staying in Europe. But, you know, throughout the States, mostly declining a little bit. You know, so when you put all that into perspective and what's actually happening, Vegas is just operating like it's designed as of now. You know, there's no competition here in Vegas. You have two corporations that basically own the entire strip with a few independents mixed in, right? Yeah, the moons, where's Mud? Now, the numbers that matter to the casinos out here are still pretty strong, right? RevPAR, revenue per available room, that's gone up. So Vegas may have seen a decline in tourists, but the numbers that matter to them, they have seen a slight increase. So they're happy with what's going on. It affects us because we're paying more, right? And that's not something we like to do, but we're paying more everywhere. We're paying more at the gas pumps, paying more for eggs, groceries, all that stuff. So, you know, what makes Vegas different? You know, the corporations are going to be corporations. They're going to try to extract as much money out of us, the consumer, as they can. And I'm going to be truthful about it. The numbers that we had do not show a dead Vegas. It shows Vegas reacting to economic conditions that are outside Las Vegas. So if people are worried about the economics of their jobs and things like that, they're not going to take as many trips, as many pleasure trips, you know? We're not seeing the Sunday through Thursday crowd that's here on vacation and party time anymore. We're seeing Sunday through Thursday conventions, Friday, Saturday, leaving on Sunday, party people. So that's what we're seeing. And that's what Vegas is reacting to. People are coming here not to gamble as much anymore. People are coming here to see residencies, to see Sphere, to see, you know, entertainment has kind of taken the top spot, I think, as far as why people are coming to Vegas. Not so much gambling, because you could basically drive down your street in your hometown now and probably hit a casino. I think every state but one offers gambling. So, you know, I could very well go ahead and make like some crazy clickbait, you know, Vegas has imploded on itself. And you know what? You do get some good clicks and some good views on that, right? But you're also spreading a false narrative, which I don't think is very helpful to Las Vegas in its own, right? So 38.5 million, I think the number came out for visitors in 2025, down 3 million from 2024. Very, very much not dead. Texas doesn't have legalized gambling except, I think, on Indian reservations. Is that correct, Alan? I don't even think you can do like DraftKings or any of that stuff in Texas. Jeffrey, resorts fees are big, big money. They are, and so that's why they're not going to go away. You know, every once in a while they do lower them a little bit or knock them off as a little special, but resort fees. But here's the thing about resort fees, and you don't hear this really anywhere else. None of these other clickbaiters will tell you this. Resort fees have been part of Las Vegas since 2008 on the Strip, 2004 off Strip. Station Casinos, the local casino out here, they're the ones that started resort fees. And in 2008, MGM started charging resort fees. So, what's that, 18 years? Right? 18 years or so, resort fees have been around in Las Vegas. So, it's not something that happened in 2025 that drove people away. So that's kind of a straw man argument, right? Oh, it's the high resort fees. They've been there and they've been creeping up since 2008 on the Strip. Parking. Parking is another one. You can do DraftKings, okay. Okay. Because I remember seeing an article about some guy that owns a mattress store that used to go to like Louisiana or something to place his bets. But yeah, so 2016 is when parking, right? Right here, MGM. MGM started the parking fees in Las Vegas, right? Caesars didn't do them right away. Caesars waited a year. Caesars was still under the mentality that people weren't going to pay for parking. If we offer free parking, more people will come to us. Well, they didn't see this mass influx of people going to Caesar properties. They saw people paying to park at MGM. So they said, screw it, man. We're going to do it. We're going to put parking fees in too. So it's a new revenue stream. They're not going to cut a revenue stream. They can't, right? Remember, these, not only do they have gaming regulations that they have to adhere to, but they also have the corporate laws, right? Wall Street laws, all that good stuff, right? That they have to adhere to. They have actuary or fiduciary duties, responsibilities to their shareholders. So as long as their shareholders are making the money, we're secondary to them. You know what I mean? We're not the main objective anymore. It used to be the customer. You know, bring people in, you know, give them cheap meals, give them cheap rooms. They'll spend their money, right? And that was a great model, and it worked for many, many years, right? And then, you know, the early 2000s, they started to change things. And here we are. Here we are. We got people that want to blame fees and taxes that have been around for 10 plus years on why there was a decline in 2025, instead of just saying, hey, you know what? 2024 was an anomaly, right? Excuse me. So 2020, we had the pandemic. Numbers dropped. 2021, 22, they were like recovery years. I would say start 2023 as the baseline of a reset in Vegas. I know, right? The 99-cent shrimp cocktail was a favorite of mine. Now, whew, that's a lot of steps. So here we are at the A's Stadium, and they're getting a lot done here. Whole lot done. Way more construction completed since we've been here the last time. Now, there's a lot of things out of Vegas's control right now, right? Visa wait times, you know, different countries, putting restrictions on travel to the United States, people wanting to boycott the United States. These are things that Vegas can't control. And when you look at those numbers of people that didn't come, that's where we lose those 3 million, those 3 million visitors from 2024. You know, the Canadians the Australians, the Europeans that aren't coming, that's probably where we lost those 3 million. And, you know, there's a lot of reasons those people aren't coming, you know, politics and money exchanges, things like that. All those things are outside of Las Vegas's control. So you can't blame Vegas for people not wanting to come because they got to wait and pay too much for a travel visa. So, or because if they put in $5,000 of their money, they're only getting 3,500 American dollars, right? So if the economics to travel here aren't there for this, then, you know, then you're not going to travel. I mean, I don't know. If I was like, hey, I'm going to go to, I don't know, Italy, and my $5,000 I had saved up was only going to get me 4,000 or 3,500 hours in Italy, I'd probably be like, man, I'm losing $1,500 on the exchange. That's just too much. So I definitely would probably rethink that vacation and wait until the exchanges were better. Now, I don't know. Some people like to frame that as, you know, MGM has a role in that somehow, but they don't. You know, what MGM can do is MGM can offer good room rates and maybe reduce resort fees and parking fees. They're not going to eliminate them because then the shareholders would be pissed off, you know, and then there'd be some kind of class action lawsuit against the casinos out here because my stock dropped and you aren't trying to fix it, right? Now, there is some news, some rumors floating around. I guess they're not rumors. It was confirmed that Caesars may be looking at a takeover. Not so much a hostile takeover, but there's been some talk. Nothing confirmed, but they're open to it. Mud, what's going on, buddy? You just missed about 50 moons. So if Caesars gets taken over, now, you know, just alone on that news, their stock went up, right? It doesn't mean that they're going to go bankrupt or anything like that, because a lot of the debt that they owe, like especially in their rent, because they sold all their land to the REITs, right? All that rent is still going to be due. What that's going to do is they're going to restructure, and it'll probably come at the consumer's expense, you know? Possible layoffs for the workers. Who knows? I don't know. That could be one option, right? That's an easy way for these corporations to cut money. And whenever they need to save money, it's like, hey, instead of giving a better product, let's lay some people off, you know? So who knows what's going to happen with that, right? I would love that, man. I would totally open up a Hello Kitty. That's really not that much money either. 9,500 bucks to open up a Hello Kitty. You definitely need to look into that. Mud, we're heading back towards the Strip. I'm gonna head back up north on the Strip. I have some more stuff I need to get done before it gets dark today, but I really wanted to get out and hang with you guys today. So I think we were just having a really good conversation. So, you know, obviously the people that are on these live streams, you guys all love Vegas, come to Vegas, except for the trolls. Every once in a while we get some of them trolls, but yes, the new NeonCityWalkers Hello Kitty. Caesars is having problems with their mobile systems, right? Okay, well, see, we talked about this before. People love these mobile systems, these self-check-in kiosks, those, you know, check-in from your phone options. And what happens when they go down? You get tremendous lines, right? You get tremendous lines because they don't have enough people at the front desk. because people are pissed off. They got to wait 15 minutes to check in. I'll just do it on my phone. So where do you suggest people go, Tom, to spend their money if it's not MGM or Caesars? Venetian, Wynn, Resorts World? There's only a handful of independent operators out here anymore. Aqua went down. Ugh, that's a horrible system. Open a Hello Kitty. Man, I got a bad sun glare behind me here. All right, we're cutting across. We got 30 seconds to get across.
Okay.
I mean, I think people seem to forget that MGM and Caesars exist outside of Las Vegas, and a lot of the properties on the outside of Las Vegas actually do pretty well. Yeah, MGM, I mean, you know, you got to look at like the comps, right? I mean, I know plenty of people who have switched properties from MGM to Caesars or vice versa because they're getting better comps there. Is it worth the money to go to the Neon Museum? Yeah, I would say definitely it is. I mean, that's like a lot of good historical stuff there. It's like going to any other, you know, pop museum. Lisa, what's going on? Listen, if I had my way, I'll open up a Hello Kitty, right? Or a NeonCityWalker coffee cafe. We should have Murakami come out here. Murakami seems like they're a very good barista. Always has delicious sounding coffee when we're on our live streams. So Tom, you personally switched from Caesars to MGM. You're Reverend Rob, what's up, buddy? So, I mean, there's a lot, like, I have one friend that switches back and forth like every like year or so. They get fed up with Caesars and then they get fed up with MGM. I just, you know, I don't gamble enough to really care about either. Yeah, I was kind of chatting away, talking about, you know, the numbers, and I was thinking about doing a video, but I just decided to talk about it on the live stream instead, you know? That's gonna be cool, seeing that Siegfried and Roy. I kind of wish they would have just left that there on the Strip as like a, you know what I mean? As a tribute to the Mirage. That would have been really cool. Oh, it feels so nice right here. I'm gonna have to pull over and take my jacket off. It's like, what's it gotta be, like 73 degrees? I'm like dying. Can't wait until it's like triple digits though. And I don't bring out a jacket and all that good stuff. One last thing to worry about. Some Neon City nugget food bites to pair with coffee. Yeah, that's right up my alley. I'm not a foodie, but I do love my desserts, that's for sure. Whew. All right, there we go. Whew. Yeah, the 100 plus temperatures are my favorite, for sure. Yeah, MGM really needs to fix this up too. That's another thing they really need to fix. What happened to this? MGM has like no pride in ownership in this thing. It's got broken marble. All the water fountains are all dismantled, it looks like. This used to be pretty iconic right here on the Strip, and now people come up to take their pictures and they're like, what happened to the lion? What happened to MGM's lion? Jeff, I appreciate you guys spending time with us, with me and Jay, when we do these walks. If it wasn't for you guys, I mean, there'd be no reason besides, well, I mean, I'd probably be up here walking around anyway. Alan doesn't like Caesars, apparently. Is Mud still on? No, thank you.
Okay, let me say hi.
You want to say hi? There we go. Just say no thank you when you walk past. That's all. Be polite, they're polite. I know sometimes they like hassle people, but they're just trying to make some money. If you are going to get a picture taken with the showgirls, make sure you negotiate the price up front. Okay? I think the going rate from what I hear is around 40 per girl, so that's like $80 for like a couple pictures or something. No, man, it's the hustle, man. It's the hustle. I mean, obviously they must make some money if they're out here doing it every day. You know, that's all I can say. Yeah, well, that's another thing. I mean, I don't give out financial advice or recommend that anybody actually go ahead and open up a credit card, but you do get some pretty good comps and stuff when you're when you open up the MGM or the Caesars credit cards. But I don't recommend doing that unless you're good with your money and paying your bills. They don't even have good moons. I try not to make eye contact, right? Because I think that's another thing. Like, if you make eye contact, it's like, ooh, we got a customer. Oh, awesome. Did you get Cartzilla 1 or 2, Josh? Because Cartzilla 2 is apparently the better one. It's got like a Corvette motor and all that stuff. Murakami knows all about that. You got an application? Yeah, I get those in the mail all the time. I just delete them, throw them out. Where would I open a Hello Kitty? I think, you know, I'd have to really think about that, Jeff. Because, let's see, we got one South Strip, Mid Strip, and Fashion Show, which I guess takes care of the North Strip now. So, maybe somewhere downtown, I think, would probably be a good location. You know? Somewhere down off of Fremont or something like that. Probably plenty of room down there. How long have I been streaming today? I've only been on YouTube for about 40 minutes. I was on TikTok a little bit this morning for about an hour. I'm gonna walk back up to the Hard Rock, show you guys the Hard Rock, and then I gotta, and then I'm gonna end for the day. Because I've been so busy catching up on things that I left go over the winter. That, you know, got to get some good use of the daylight out here. Oh, that's the Cartzilla, huh? Cartzilla 3.0 is on its way. That'd be cool. What are they going to put in that? A Lambo motor? So this is the food court area inside New York. Greenberg's Deli has a great breakfast special, $9.99. Couple different things you can get, and a cup of coffee for $9.99. Yeah, Rob's talking. I have to do that too. I got 3 cactus I got to take care of in my yard. The one I got to basically cut off about 70% of the arms and all that stuff. The other ones I just kind of got to reposition in the pots, or maybe even take out of the pot and plant into the ground. So this walkway too will take you right out to Hello Kitty. Ooh, Hello Kitty on the overlook. Murakami, that's a great idea. That's a great idea, up on the upper level. I like that one. The sugar cookies are really good. So when F1 was around, one of the girls at Hello Kitty here gave me one of the F1 sugar cookies to try out, and it was really good. I gotta be honest. I'm not a huge fan of sugar cookies, but that one was really, really good. The icing was good. It wasn't that sweet. It wasn't like, you know, had like the F1 Las Vegas sign, a little Hello Kitty on it. That was pretty cool. They do have really good desserts there. Sweet Sin, I think, has better desserts. They got more of a selection of like actual like pastries and stuff like that. Now the Aria Patisserie, that's another one of me and Jay's favorites. That's 24 hours. They got really good mocha in there, and they have a great selection of sweet treats. And the spot that me and Rob went to in the Bellagio, it's a simple name called Gelati. That's where I got the affogato, and me and Jay go there sometimes because that is one of the only places in Bellagio you can get like a decent coffee and not have to wait forever. Sweet Sin's gonna make you bankrupt. So Tom, what's with the Hello Kitty obsession? So it's just like, it's a spot that I go a lot, and I think people kind of laugh because here's this 50-year-old guy who walks around the strip with this cup, right? And I got a Hello Kitty hat that somebody bought me, a Hello Kitty sweatshirt, t-shirt, you know. I had kids growing up, so Hello Kitty was like kind of like one of the things that they were into. And Jay used to teach a class about San Remo, which is the creator of Hello Kitty. So it's just a fun little spot on the strip with good coffee that people think it's funny that we go to that we go there. Have I tried Horror Vibes? I just saw that I saw a TikTok about it, and I just drove past there the other day. That is definitely a spot I want to check out. Oh yeah, I waited in line for the Bruno Mars character of at the Hello Kitty too. That was pretty fun. Yeah, right, a Hello Kitty mascot. It's funny because like a lot of people, I'll meet people there, you know, some of you guys are subscribers and friends, and we'll meet there, and like, you know, everybody so far has said it's really good coffee. Not too many people were disappointed in it. It's just a fun thing to do out here. Now, I know, like, you know, several streamers out here do like the Hello Kitty coffee. Must see Las Vegas. She goes there a lot. We just missed each other there a couple times when we were streaming. Yeah, so it's a cool spot on the Strip just to show people. Oh yeah, and you know, since you brought that up, I am changing. We are changing the scent in our house again. So Jay does this. I know we just ran out of. I think we had Vidar. No, did we had? Yeah, we had Vidar going in the bedroom, and we just ran out of that. Just noticed last night. So when I get home, it'll be what hotel scent is in the bedroom. So Jay will have something new flowing from Aroma Retail there. So there you go, Mud, some moons.
Do you want to slow down?
Enjoy the rest of y'all stay, guys.
Yeah, definitely give their coffee a try. I mean, I think it's really good. Like, I like mochas, right? And I think that the mocha, you still taste the coffee. It's not like hot chocolate with coffee in it. You know what I mean? That's kind of why I really like it. Because so many places you go and get a mocha, it's like they made hot chocolate and put a splash of espresso there. We call the front moon suns. If the suns are out. So, yeah. It's these people move their little protest down here.
Who's there in the...
You had that white chocolate mocha. How was the white chocolate, JL? I'm not a huge white chocolate fan, but I did have the zebra mocha one time. That's the white and dark chocolate mixed together. Oh, we got two working escalators. Yeah, I mean, I've tried several of their drinks there, and I don't think any of them are that bad. I don't know if I would just try the straight white mocha though. I'm not a big Starbucks fan either. But Tom, if you're also looking for another good spot, it's called Sweet Sin. It's in the Link Promenade. They have really good coffee, and the Aria Patisserie, I think, has the best coffee shop of all the different hotels. Yeah, how does that even, how is that white chocolate doesn't have chocolate in that? I've never understood how they get away with calling it white chocolate. So that's the Aria up there. We're gonna go straight. I think we're gonna do a test today. We're gonna walk through the shops at Crystal's and see how good the signal is in here. Sometimes we get a good signal, sometimes it glitches. If it glitches, it's only gonna be about a minute, guys, for me to walk through here. So just bear with us. Give you a little warning. So far, so good. It's like I stopped because those people were like a couple feet behind me. So I like stopped to hold the door for a second, and it's like they slowed down, like push. I did that the other night. I pulled the door going out of, I forget where it was. Yeah, no, you know, I hate all you. I hate all you. I know that's the problem is when I leave, I have to push the door now, right? Maybe we can find one that has like the wave your hand and open thing. So it looks like we did pretty good walking through here, right? I know, Joanna, aren't they mean people? They are some mean people here. I know, they're all waiting for the crash out, right? I'm not crashing out today, guys. So you guys that are in here right now, it's your first time in here maybe, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So push, I'm gonna push the door. There we go, I pushed the door, right? So welcome into the chatters. Make sure you hit that like button. Drop your favorite resort in the chat here so we know. Say hello. We're a very friendly group here. Yeah, I know. That's why. That's why you guys are always trying to get me to crash. It's awesome. I love it. So yeah, so if you're enjoying this, great way to support us is just hit that subscribe button. We also have memberships. We have the super chats. I just make you guys aware that they're all available. Never need to ever send us any kind of money or nothing like that. We're not that kind of channel, but we do appreciate you guys subscribing and watching our videos. Definitely, that's the best way that you can support our channel. So I but I just posted a video within the last week or so about these steps right here. These steps right here, right outside the Cosmo. So if you want to avoid those steps, go ahead and check that video out. Be surprised how many people didn't realize how simple it was not to have to take those steps. Ooh. Pull. In a cop uniform, no less, right? That was fun. Had to whip out the handcuffs for that one. So we're gonna avoid them steps going in, right? Super easy, just do it in reverse. You know, that's a hard thing with YouTube, right? It's like when you make your videos and stuff, you need to make oh yeah, that's for the NeonCityWalkers after dark, when we bust out the handcuffs and stuff. Restraints. All right, there we go. If I ever get that old I can't make up my mind to take an escalator or an elevator, put me out to pasture. Of course. Officer Sweet Jimmy. You've been bad. Oh God, let's try not to go off the rails right now, right? Oh, good thing we're not on TikTok where we'd have to do a little bit of a floor tour, right? But no, we can actually show you guys, because we're adults talking about Las Vegas. We can show you guys machines and all kinds of good fun stuff that's inside of these places. But big, beautiful Buddha, looking for the belly rub. Who wants to give some belly rubs to the big, beautiful Buddha? Only $1 a rub. Oh, man. Paris has some decent restaurants, but I'm going to tell you, my favorite restaurants, pretty much everything is inside of Cosmo or Venetian. Alexa's is actually really good for brunch. And Beer Park, if you want to stay at Paris. Beer Park and Alexa's, they're on top of each other. they're actually really good spots to go. Now, when you get into the back restaurant row, you have like Martha Stewart's and yes, I am.
Don't get banned.
Oh, we're on TikTok. We're not on TikTok, so. This is YouTube. No, this is YouTube.
Oh,
yeah.
Why don't you do it also on, what is that one streaming thing that everyone's on right now? Twitch?
Kick and
Or is it
Twitch.
quicker? Yeah.
Sometimes I do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which one is better? YouTube, you think?
YouTube's probably best. Yeah, it's the easiest to get the subscribers and
you
stuff like
local?
that.
Yeah, 101 people.
Yeah.
Guys, make sure you guys subscribe to him. I love watching
Who is
streamers.
this?
NeonCityWalkers.
I mean,
Or,
what platform are you on?
oh, this is YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they do this?
What's your thing again? Sin City platforms.
NeonCityWalkers.
Neon City.
Yeah.
Alright, well, nice to meet you.
All right.
Okay?
All right. You too. They ain't getting me. I ain't got no cash on me anyway. And I'm just being nice. Josh, 9 days, awesome. See, they're like, oh no, don't show us, don't get banned, right? Because that's what happens with TikTok stuff, right? They take credit. Well, I ain't got no credit either, Alan. I think I said it before. If somebody stole my identity, they'd probably be like, oh man, this poor fuck. Joe, what's going on, buddy? Oh, Murakami with the Sherry rooftop. That's a good spot. I always forget about that spot. I've never eaten there, but all the reviews and all the content I've ever seen from that spot looks great. All right. Shit. They would give it back to me and be like, I'm sorry, man. We tried everything we could to fix it for you. But,
And it's bad. It's not good.
yeah, go get. Listen, I am not taking that advice from you guys. They're going to get me in trouble. I don't know when Jay gets on YouTube because it doesn't tell you who comes in the room, right? At least on TikTok, when she comes in the room, I can see Neon City Jay has entered the chat, but when we're on YouTube, I don't know unless she says something. And I'll be sitting here with she'd be like, where the hell, first off, she'd be more mad that I went and opened up a credit card. But I got free parking. She'd be like, but babe, I got free parking today. I needed it for that, not for the moon pics. So you guys are trying to get me to push doors, get my pictures taken with the showgirls. Come on. You're trying to get me banned and not by the platform. They don't have anybody out today working on the fountains either. At least they didn't earlier when we were on either. I didn't see them, which is different. Must be running pretty good then. These are bad influences on me. Thank God I didn't know you guys back in my drinking days. We would have been in all kinds of trouble. Oh man. She's gonna be like, oh, it looks like the Fortuna is moving. There's nobody on it, but must be taking it out for a quick spin. Let's see. Oh my goodness. That's a good idea there, Murakami. There it is. Moving across the center of the screen. That is the Fortuna. That is the yacht. It's not a mega yacht. It's just like a nice fishing boat that the Bellagio has here for like super high rollers and invited guests. I don't think we're ever going to get on that. You're never going to come back to Vegas? Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that there, Joe. Yeah, definitely, man. I know the moons were behind us now. I totally misread it. I thought I read that as you're never coming back, Joe. I'm like, I thought you liked Vegas. Now, this is a good walk actually today. I think we had a lot of good, I think we had some good conversation about the Vegas numbers, right? And if I do make that video, I keep saying I might, and then I'm like, you know what? It does get frustrating. But if I do make that video, it's going to be like really factual, not like kind of, and you're going to get all sides and what all the numbers mean. So, I don't know. You guys think I should take the time to do that? Kind of like give you guys like a real breakdown of what the Vegas numbers are, not just the ones that look the most spectacular and things like that, and how they actually, what it actually means. Because I don't think a lot of people know what RevPAR and REITs and all that stuff are. So you can ride the yacht for $300 on top of whatever your meal is. I'm always happy, Alan. I'm always happy unless people are pushing the revolving doors at Bellagio. I try to be happy, man. Like, you know what? Like, why waste your time being like negative and stuff, you know? That's how I feel sometimes, Glitter and Coffee, right? But then I feel on the other side of it is, you know, people are maybe making a decision not to come based upon like half-truths, because, you know, a lot of them videos, they do give the right numbers, but they portray them in a way that are not full. They're not telling the full story about what those numbers mean. You know, well, Alan, they were being an idiot, so I was just being. You heard that, huh? I didn't think anybody heard that. I kind of mumbled it under my breath. That's when we were standing on the elevator and there was like people there, and like I could tell, like sometimes people get on the elevator and, you know, what am I gonna do? Stand there like a, you know, so I just kind of, I like to create like that awkward silence where they know I'm live, but I'm not saying anything. And the person's like, you zoomed too close. And it's like, the camera's right next to the button, dude. Yeah, and you know, a lot of the media, and I'm going to tell you what, even sometimes when you see some of the CEOs do their interviews here, they, they don't they don't make a good case explaining what's going on out here either, right? Because they're so worried about keeping the shareholders and all that stuff happy and putting this very positive spin where sometimes it's not all positive, but it's not all negative, right? And there's reasonable explanations, and you know, the CEOs of these casinos, they don't want to turn around and say, well, you know, there's things out of Vegas's control, like, you know, why international tourists aren't coming here, things like that, right? They don't want to throw the blame back at the politicians on certain things. So, you know, they don't want to, like, you know, it's like I said earlier, you know, a lot of people aren't coming here for political reasons, personal political reasons, country political reasons, you know, having a hard time getting visas, travel visas, how much it costs to get a travel visa went up, things like that, you know, and the exchange rates and things like that. So that's all outside of Vegas's control. So when you take an estimated, I think it was like estimated like 2.3 million visitors didn't come because of those things. I don't know how they got to that number, but that almost puts us right where we were the year before. So I don't know. You know, how about Vegas is just a little bit slow right now, and Vegas is changing. That is a great spot to chill, Tom. That is one of my favorite spots to chill at night. The fountains are so peaceful at night. Now, I did a little bit of research, right? And for average daily room rates in other cities, right? So, like, if you include the resort fee in Las Vegas, right, you get around $230 or so for an average daily room rate. And if you were going to Nashville, you're looking at around $250 per day for a room. You're looking at over $500 in New York. So there are other cities that people go to where that, you know, oh, Vegas is so expensive, but it's still cheaper than Orlando. It's still cheaper than Dallas, New York, Nashville. It's still cheaper. It's just not as cheap as it used to be. I'm having a hard time seeing the chat here, guys. I got a new phone case, and I think I'm gonna have to get a different one that doesn't have like a screen protector. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a stressor for people that, you know, used to come to Vegas all the time because you got all those great cheap deals, right? But I'm thinking that most of those people are remembering like times in the early 2000s, because I don't remember them deals being here in, you know, the late teens and stuff like that, right? I mean, if you came here in like the late 90s, early 2000s, remember a lot of the casinos subsidized airfare. So you were able to get a package airfare and hotel room, you know, for like $400 for like Sunday through Thursday, you know, and that was, you know, that was great. And then you had all the cheap meals and stuff like that. But, you know, things have changed a lot. See, JL knows what I'm talking about, right? AE, one of our friends over here on YouTube and TikTok, was telling me he went to Nashville, and it was like thousands. It was like 1,000 more to go there for the weekend than it was to come out here. You know what I mean? The nickel and diamond is definitely 100% an issue, Alan. I am not going to deny that. All these hidden fees, right? I try to show you guys if I find a hidden fee, like Cheo at the link. They have the it's not a convenience fee. What's it called? It's whatever that fee is. And, you know, now they're starting to charge you like, it's basically like, you know, you're going out to eat and they're putting on an extra 5%. What's that 5% is nothing except the restaurant charging you another fee. It's not part of the gratuity. It's not part of anything. It's just them trying to make extra money, you know? Concession fee, yes, there we are. I'm like sitting there like, what is that word for when you go to the stand at the baseball game? I just couldn't remember. Concessions, right? So yes, the concession fees, right? Around 4%. Now, 4 or 5%. So if you see that on the menu, look for that on the menu and then ask them, can you take that off? And if they say no, be like, well, you know what? We're going to go somewhere else. That's the only way that you'll be able to beat some of these fees back, right? Go up to the restaurants and they don't have the price on the menu at the door. Ask to see a menu with prices. If it's too expensive for you, go somewhere else. You know? The moon's fee, right? But like, so in other cities, they have destination fee, right? That is basically the same exact thing as a resort fee. That is charged by the hotel. San Diego has the destination fee in that historic district down there by the ballpark. You know, and the parking really. When you look at the price of parking in Vegas at $20 to $30 a night, is still cheaper than a lot of cities where you're looking at forced valet parking at $65 to $90 a night. So that's like something that we need to remember, that if you go to other cities, the parking is going to be more expensive. And oh, well, I'm going in and I'm going to go gamble. Okay, but you're also sleeping at that hotel, right? And so do you get all pissed off when you go to like Los Angeles or San Francisco or Dallas or Orlando and you have to pay to park? Probably not as much as people get pissed off when they come to Vegas. Matt, I've heard great things. I have never gone there. Me and Jay, we really don't do a whole lot of these fancy dinner type places like that because, you know, most of the time the food is, I feel, mid, because I'm a person that really likes bold, flavorful food. And a lot of these places cut back on the spices and stuff. And, you know, I have a hard time paying that much money for dinner, you know? Yeah, I think parking, I mean, so when we went to San Francisco, I had to park 3 city blocks from our hotel because they did not have a parking garage. We were in like Union Square at one of those older hotels. And we had to park 3 blocks away, $45 a night. You did get in and out service, like, so, you know, if we had to leave or whatever, we could leave and come back and you didn't get recharged. But it was $45 a night and it was 3 blocks away. So that was kind of a pain in the ass. The other hotel that we looked at in San Francisco, their parking situation was valet parking only at $90 a night.
No, not tomorrow, not next trip.
Last time we went to Phoenix together as a family, it was $45 a night, I think, for valet parking. And then, you know, LA, San Diego, you're looking at $60 to $90 a night for parking downtown areas, right? The tourist areas. And then, you know, prices of food and everything are pretty outrageous in all the tourist areas. Oh, $28 a day for parking near Disney. Do you have to park if you are going to the park, right? If you are going to Disney yourself, right? Do you have to pay to park at Disney if you're staying off property, even if you have park passes?
Yeah, but I'm zoning out.
I don't know. I haven't been to Disney in 25 years. Yeah, I mean, I could see renting a car for like a day, Alan, if you wanted to take a day trip out to Red Rock Canyon or, you know, Hoover Dam or something. But why people rent cars for the whole time they're out here, I never got that myself. You know, just kind of seems like a waste of money. You know, I do watch quite a few Disney streamers. Maybe I'll jump in one of their lives and ask one time if you have to pay for parking. So I'm not really sure myself. All right, we'll show you the other side of the guitar, and then we will then we're gonna sign off up here in a minute. Like I said, I gotta get home. I got tons of stuff. I mean, this whole being an adult and doing adult things really sucks. I really wish I was employed like that person was asking me earlier today. You know, if I was unemployed and that's how I was able to do this stuff. I wish this was my job. That would be awesome. A full-time Vegas live streamer. You know what? It would probably get kind of boring though, don't you think? Yeah, adulting is not fun. So there is the backside. We don't get to see, a lot of people don't show this side, right? But I think this is kind of like the really cool side because this is where all the action is. You got the cranes sticking through the windows. You got the big old freaking, you got the elevator, the workers' elevators. This is the busy side. Downtown Disney, they do some of those validated. I know some places downtown here on Fremont Street validate also, but you have to pay a certain amount of money, right? So I think sometimes it's cheaper just to pay the parking fee than it is to go in and, you know, accumulate that many credits for the night. Luz, what's going on? Welcome in from Long Beach. You're gonna be here for the opening of this? Nice. Ah, yeah, hopefully I'll be here for the opening too. You know, I thought about applying for a job there when they start hiring, but part of me is like, I don't know if I really wanna work there, and then I can't really kind of hang out there. And I know I'm going to want to hang out at the Hard Rock. That was always our spot, me and Jay back in the day, the original Hard Rock. So And just so y'all know, if you're out here anytime soon, I have no idea when, but they have the sidewalk closed here. So where the volcano and the lagoon and all that stuff was, when the Mirage was here, that's all blocked off now. So you have to cross here and go over to Venetian. So I don't know how long. I've tried to look it up and see if there's any permits pulled. Well, maybe I'm not reading the permit pages right on the city, so. Jay, you have a great day, man. I'm about to sign off myself. So let me flip this around actually and say goodbye to all y'all. How do I do that? There we go. All right. So you guys all have a great day. I'm going to be going and doing some adult stuff now. I don't think me and Jay will be out tonight. But if we are, maybe we'll see you tonight. If not, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. And you guys have a great day.